The conclusions are fascinating. The project itself is as well. How did you go about doing this? Who did you decide to keep in touch with?
So, clearly Trump's victory in November came as a surprise to so many of us. It bucked the conventional wisdom and what the polls said, that Hillary Clinton was going to coast to victory. So we wanted to go to these 4 Midwestern states, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and just talk to voters. So we've been talking to them over the past 6 months. There's 8 of them in total. There's 4 reporters, including myself, who's been working on this. So we wanted to hear from them. How are they reacting to Trump's presidency? These were such crucial states, these swing states that Trump won, that helped propel him into the White House. So we wanted to hear from the voters who helped put him there, to see whether they are going to help him, in fact, stay there.
I'll have you generalize a little bit here, but you've been checking in with them, as you say. After the health care vote, for instance, in light of this most recent news about the FBI Director, James Comey, have any of those moments in time changed how they feel about the president? In other words, we know that they continue to back him by and large. Were any of those moments at all pivotal?
By and large, these voters are sticking with him. Their support is not eroding. Of course, the president, we've talked a lot about how the president overall has a dismal approval rating. But among his base of supporters, and we're seeing with that with these voters in particular, that they may disagree with him here and there. It's not like they're going to agree with him at every turn, but they really have this emotional connection with President Trump. They really are giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's, making decisions in their best interests, that he's taking to heart their interests. And so they're really sticking by him, even if they don't agree with every single thing he's doing. The Comey example, is the firing of FBI Director James Comey is a perfect example. They think he has his reasons for it. They think, that it should have been done a long time ago, frankly.
You highlight, you and your colleagues, Jeff Green and Mark Niquette, Elise Young, highlight the emotional connection that these voters have with the man who is now the President of the United States. He did, during the course of that campaign, make a lot of big promises to voters like the ones you profile here. How cognizant of that are they? How much time are they prepared to give this president to make good on some of the promises he made?
I think they're willing, again, to give him a lot of leeway here. I mean, and they will point to victories, canceling the Trans-Pacific Partnership. For our women in Wisconsin, that was a huge thing. So the fact that he canceled the Trans-Pacific Partnership, he's promising to renegotiate NAFTA. She's saying, all right, I'm happy. He did what I wanted. Pushing ahead with building a wall with Mexico, for example. Again, our woman in Wisconsin is saying, well, if he doesn't do it, great, but at least he's trying. At least he's giving it a go, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, the woman you profile in Wisconsin, Bryn Bymek, moves to Texas to start a new life. She's of a libertarian vintage. How does that change her perspective on, yes, the election, but how Donald Trump is governing? She's not somebody who was solidly in President Trump's camp.
Well, I mean, actually, she wasn't always. So she was going to vote for Gary Johnson, had Trump not won the Republican nomination. But now she really is solidly in Trump's camp. And she's really giving him the benefit of the doubt. She's saying, she's the one that's saying he canceled TPP. I'm happy. He's renegotiating NAFTA, or was planning on it. So she's happy. So she's really, standing by his side. Take the health care bill, for example. There's all these questions of whether the Senate is going to pass it or not. But some of these voters are really telling us, Obamacare is going to implode, which is what, the Trump line is. And so they're really kind of, talking in using his talking points in some ways and saying, the health care is going to get resolved one way or another. I have faith in Trump and his ability to push a repeal and replacement bill through somehow.
Let me just ask you lastly how the level of engagement has changed since the election. You have voters who were very engaged with the candidate when he was on the campaign trail. You profile a woman, Kim Wodrowski of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, who's very active on social media defending the policies of this president. Has the level of engagement changed since he's been inaugurated, since he's begun governing? That's a hard generalization to make. I would say largely no. I mean, I think they're still, in tune, but there is obviously a divide, whether they're watching CNN or Fox News. There's a very different vision of what, President Trump is doing, what he's able to accomplish, whether those, actions are portrayed as failures or controversies or successes. So I think we're seeing that continued polarization of, just this, how different the media diets are between people on the left and people on the right, and how that comes to, color their viewpoints accordingly.